ese es el momento que todos estábamos esperando, la pelea estelar, 10 rounds en el peso ligero. The three judges scoring at ringside, los tres jueces, Patricia Morse-Jarman, Dave Moretti, and Jerry Rupp. And when the bell rings, the man in the middle in charge of the action, your referee, future Hall of Famer, 1 month away from his California Hall of Fame induction, Robert Byrne. And now, ladies and gentlemen, the judges are ready and the fighters are ready. For over 100 million watching around the world, Las Vegas, Nevada, let the world know, are you ready? Introducing to you first, fighting out of the red corner, wearing tonight the black trunks trimmed in green, he weighed in at 135 pounds. En la esquina roja con los calzoncillos negro con verde, con peso de 135 libras. His professional record, an outstanding one. 13 victories, only 3 defeats with 5 wins coming by way of knockout. Su récord, 13 victorias con 5 ganadas por knockout y 3 derrotas. The pride of Perm, Russia, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Rustam Nugaev. And his opponent across the ring, fighting out of the blue corner, wears the red trunks trimmed in silver and weighing in at 136 pounds even. En la esquina azul con los calzoncillos rojo con plata, con peso de 136 libras. And this is his 19th bout as a professional. Only twice has he tasted defeat. He has 16 victories, including 7 wins coming by way of knockout. Su récord, 16 victorias, con 7 ganadas por knockout y 2 derrotas from San Diego, California, by way of Oaxaca, Mexico. Ladies and gentlemen, here is Jairo, el Giro Ramirez.
Give me a clean break. Protect yourselves at all times. Obey my commands at all times. Let's do it.
All right, here we go. Scheduled 1 round, first round, I should say. Scheduled 10 rounds. This is the first round. Nugaev, the Russian, in green, and in red is Jairo Ramirez. This is going to be a tough fight for both of these guys. The Russian in green is a very heavy-handed fighter. He's got quick hands, and so has Jairo Ramirez. Ramirez opens up with the first blast of the fight. Both of these guys, very slick boxes, very quick with the jabs. You see Ramirez able to duck underneath that outstretched jab of Nugaev. While Nugaev has a terrific record, he hasn't fought anybody in the class of Jairo Ramirez, and I don't know if Ramirez has faced anybody as good as Nugaev.
Well, in the one common opponent, Ricardo Fuentes, it was Nugaev getting the victory while Ramirez was beaten by Ricardo Fuentes, one of the 2 losses that Ramirez has.
So there's a difference here, as Benny points out, that maybe Nugaev has the edge here in boxing ability. But Jairo Ramirez is an ever-improving fighter. He works on technique all the time. These, by the way, are 2 nice kids. Of course, we worked with Nugaev through an interpreter yesterday, but we get the idea that he's a very nice kid. And Jairo Ramirez, we've known and seen him fight. He's a guilty fighter, and he's a terrific boxer and a wonderful kid outside the ring as well. So that's the story behind the 2 men that are in there.
Well, one of the things Jairo Ramirez has done to make himself a better fighter, he's bringing Juan Flores with him. Juan Flores has been with him from the very beginning. The last 4 or 5 fights, Juan Flores was not coming with him. At the last fight, Juan Flores came back, and all of a sudden, Jairo feels very, very comfortable with Juan Flores in his corner again.
Midway through the first round, there's not a lot separating these 2 guys. Both guys have landed pretty good shots with the jab, but nobody's really taken advantage and taking control. And as I say that, Ramirez blasts some shots to the body, rips into Nugaev. Nugaev right in front of him. Nice movement by Ramirez here, and a good point by Benny that Juan Flores is back with him, and it gives a lot of confidence for Jairo Ramirez that his old trainer is back with him.
And he's been training a lot in Tijuana. That's where he gets a real quality sparring, and that's where he's learned to go ahead and dig that body. And you can see he's trying to time to come over the left jab. As soon as Nugaev leaves that left jab extended, he's trying to come over that with a right.
And he's going to the body, Benny, again, and he's landing more body shots than his Nugaev, who I haven't seen really land the body shot at all. He's strictly pumping to the head with the left hand, and he throws the right hand behind it. Nice shot by the right hand that time by Ramirez. Ramirez nails him with the right hand that time and spins ahead of Nugaev.
And he's timing that, Colonel. He's timing that right over the left hand of Nugaev.
Well, it's exactly what you had said and explained just before that, and he executed it as if you shoot him to do it, Benny. Nice left hand that time by Ramirez. Ramirez again in the red. What's that on the front of his trunks that says the wire or something?
El Giro. So if you want to send a Giro, you're sending a wire.
All right. Closing seconds now. This is the first round, a good boxing round. Here comes the bell, and that's it.
Here in the corner of Jairo Ramirez, and right there you can see Colonel says round number 2.
There's those ring card girls that Mrs. Kelly doesn't like.
Oh, but Mrs. Kelly, they serve a function. They do.
All right. Here's the straight left jab there, Benny.
And coming over there, right there with that right hand. Right over the left hand. Timing that out beautifully is Jairo Ramirez.
Coming up to round number 2. Here we go, round 2 at the Orleans in Las Vegas. I'm the Colonel Bob Sheridan. With me is Benny Ricardo. Our principals in green, Rustam Nugaev from Russia, taking on Jairo Ramirez. Both have impressive records. Ramirez is 16-2. Nugaev is 13-3. Probably the best fighter that each has fought, other than Nojuse Flores, right? That they,
Yeah, Ricardo Fuentes is
Fuentes, right?
the one common opponent. But you see, with every time we see Jairo Ramirez, he adds a little something. Now we're seeing some very quick hands.
Well, he said, Benny, that he'd been working on his jab. Boy, he loaded up the right hand behind the jab. He looks terrific against this guy. Nailed him with another right hand. He's got a lot of confidence, but Nugaev battles back. He's a tough kid. Reminds me a little bit of the, you know, he doesn't have that typical style of the Russian fighters that hold the hands really high.
But he is very upright, though.
Yeah, he's more upright, but he doesn't hold those hands up there. He's had a lot of international competition as an amateur, and he looks like a seasoned professional to me right now.
And it looks like all of a sudden he's going to speed up the hands now. Start throwing those quick hands, because he realized he can't leave anything hanging out there, because Jairo's going to come right over the top of it.
In certain ways, he looks like Costa Zua, and when he gets pressured by Ramirez, he doesn't get shaken, and he comes right back. I mean, look at Nugaev now. He's kind of having his way in this last 10 to 15 seconds with Ramirez. Ramirez is going to get out of there, get himself reset, and start with his jab again, and throw that right hand. Instead, Nugaev is kind of out hustling him at this point right now, at least for about the past 30 seconds of this round.
Well, I think he's all said. Nugaev said, I'm bound and determined. I'm going to get in that kill zone, and I'm going to throw some punches inside there, and it's worked for him.
And he throws the overhand right that gets right back with it with the uppercut. And one thing that Ramirez can't do is linger in that when you call the kill zone, Benny.
No,
he's getting tagged right now. He's getting beaten to the punch right now.
And he's not going to the body anymore. The body shots were slowing down Nugaev and setting up the right hand for Ramirez.
Well, you give the first minute of this round to Jairo Ramirez, and then the second minute to Nugaev. So let's see who wants it worse now. Who's going to win this third minute? Because whoever does wins this round in my scorecard. Remember, the official judges are Patricia Morse-German, Dave Moretti, and Jerry Roth. They do the official scoring. Benny and I will give you an indication how we see it. We're usually in line with the judges here in Nevada because they're very experienced. Most of these judges have called, or at least seen, almost as many fights as I've seen, if you combine them all.
Boy, doesn't Nugaev look tight, though? Look very, very tight.
He does a bit, but you know, he's got fluidity of motion, too. Pretty good right hand gobble up that time by Nugaev because Jairo really cracked him with it. And it's going to be a little bit frustrating for Jairo. This is a tough round to score, Benny. I don't know which way I'm going in this. Closing seconds of the second round. Let's see how it finishes out. Anything definitive here? Oh, yeah, look at that.
But then closed out very well was Jairo Ramirez.
You gotta keep going back. He's making him go back. Then you have advantage on the offense. Make him go back.
And this is Jairo at the very beginning, pretty much getting his way, backing up a very tight Rustam Nugaev. But then all of a sudden, the middle part of the round, all of a sudden Nugaev loosened up, and he started getting there first. Getting inside that kill zone there and throwing punches.
Seconds out.
We're coming up to round 3 now. And here we go. This is round 3 at the Orleans. You're watching Guilty Fight Night. And we welcome all of the hundreds of millions of people around the world that are joining us for the first time, and everybody on Ben TV across Europe and Africa and the Middle East. We welcome you back, and all our people down in the Caribbean watching in St. Thomas, we welcome you. And on the various cable networks across the United States, welcome one and all. From the Colonel, Jay Hassman, doing a great job getting the word out about guilty boxing, and more people around the world are getting to see these terrific fighters, international fighters from Mexico, and a lot of fighters from other places around the world, like our main event tonight, Nugaev from the former Soviet Union. He was born in Perm, Russia, not too far from Zirov in Russia, where Kostazou is from.
And Nugaev, you can tell, he wants to get inside, but Ramirez is doing just enough to all of a sudden just kind of negate that power, get him out of rhythm, just enough to negate any kind of attack by Nugaev.
This third round. Ramirez, bring it back. Benny gave the second round to Ramirez. I gave the first round to Ramirez and the second round to Nugaev. But now Ramirez cracks him with the right hand. Nugaev is right. Goes Ramirez! He's clipped really hard with a left hook. Can he recover from it? His eyes appear to be clear. It's up to 5 and 6 and 7 and 8, and he walks forward. Robert Bird says, okay, your eyes are clear, but you want to know what? His legs aren't. No. They're not back. And here comes Nugaev in for the finishing shots, if he can do it. He's got Ramirez out on his feet. Ramirez is hurt. And now Robert Bird comes in and says, keep the punches up. He wants to try and finish him, and he has the opportunity. Look at the aggressiveness of the Russian. He's all over Ramirez right now. Left hand, right hand cracks him. He's hurting him with the right hand again. He's ready to go again. Nugaev is all over him. He gets caught with the right hand himself. Look at the courage of Jairo Ramirez as he tries to battle back, tries to keep his wits about him. Loading up shots as Nugaev blasts him to the body. Ramirez can't move because his legs, he's trying to get the bounce back into him. Now he's got a little bit of circulation, but he's still staggering as he circles around to his right. Nugaev comes in, blasts him with a left hook to the side of the head, loads up the right hand, but it whistles past the nose.
And it's a very smart Jairo Ramirez. He was able to clear his head enough here. Very, very intelligent move by Jairo Ramirez.
There was a lot of time when Ramirez got hurt. He was really cracked and really hurt, and his legs were gone when he got back up.
His legs look good now, though, all of a sudden, Colonel.
Yeah, he's back all right. A little bit loose in the knees, and his heel's a little bit heavy, but that's because of these shots that he's taken by Nugaev. Nugaev is taking a couple of shots himself, but he partially blocks him. He does a terrific job. Closing seconds of the third round. Look at this! Ramirez tries to battle back. Nugaev gets cracked on the jaw.
As the back that Rustam Nugaev has, and you're going to see the knockout. And there's, oh, I'm sorry, it was the left hand. I thought it was the right hand. Actually, it was the left hand. A very sharp, precise 6-inch punch right there by Rustam Nugaev. But all of a sudden, Jairo Ramirez, very intelligent, getting up, moving around, throwing punches, trying to stay out of harm's way. And it was enough to go ahead and clear his head and free up his legs.
Round number 4, we got us a barn burner in the main event here. Jairo Ramirez in red, down in the third round and down hard. His legs were gone. His heels were heavy. You take a look at the scorecard, and that's the way we have it scored. 29-27 in favor of Nugaev right now. That's unofficial, by the way. That's my scorecard. But with the knockdown, you can be sure the last round was 10-8, and I gave Nugaev the second round, which evened it up, but Benny gave that second round to Ramirez, so it might be a little bit tighter than the way I have it right now. But the fact of the matter is that Nugaev has shown that he has power with his left hand, and Ramirez hasn't shown the ability to drop Nugaev as yet. Nugaev has got a sturdy chin. You know, the way he looks awkward, Benny, he keeps that chin tucked pretty good, and it's a hard target. He's got the chin down on his chest pretty good, and it's a tough target for Ramirez.
But I tell you what, that left hand, it was wicked because you could never see it coming. I didn't even see it coming, and I'm standing right here ringside in the part of Nugaev. Very quick and very hard left hand.
He throws his right hand kind of choppingly, but his left hand has got really good zip to it, as you saw in the knockdown punch. Here he is with a straight right hand lead. He does a lot of things awkwardly, and he does a lot of things very well. We have now seen his power, and Ramirez is still trying to get his balance and timing back down. His legs are a little bit far apart, so he's going to lack in power when he throws his shots. He's got to get back with his, can push off that back foot to get power into his jab. Right now his legs are very far apart, and he can't really do that and taking advantage of that. Now watch the legs, see what I mean?
Yeah.
See how far apart they are, and he can't get the leverage to get off a real good power shot.
And those are the kind of things that Juan Flores and Bob Club have been working on, trying to go ahead and get him to develop more power.
You can see, folks, right now, the white shoes on the guy with the red trunks, Ramirez, his heels look very heavy still, and that still means that he's not 100% recovered, although he threw a pretty good right hand that time. He's got the heart, but your body, sometimes, your mind is stronger than what your brain can allow you physically to do, and that's sort of the case with Ramirez right now. He's got all the heart in the world, but he just can't seem to nail this Nugaev, and Nugaev continues to pressure him.
Yeah, and that's the key right there, pressuring him, constantly throwing punches, not allowing Ramirez to be able to get inside and get to the body of Nugaev.
And he throws his punches from strange positions when he's on the inside, as Ramirez lands a couple of looping shots 37 seconds ago. You want to know something? Ramirez could pull this round out.
Yes, he can.
But Nugaev has landed some heavy shots too. Nugaev is really slick on the inside. He'll throw the overhand right, then he'll throw a right uppercut behind it. He throws the right hand choppingly, and also his left hook is very powerful.
And even though he's got the long arms, boy, Nugaev does a great job of cocking that hand right away to throw another punch.
Closing seconds now, that's the fourth round, and here's Ramirez with some power shots. And Ramirez may have pulled this round out. As the bell ending the fourth round.
Here is Jairo Ramirez. Look at that right hand right on the nose of Nugaev. Nugaev showing that he can take a punch. Jairo trying to back up the Russian Rustam Nugaev. And again, those are combinations right there. Ramirez backing up Nugaev. There's a right hand and three punches. Three unanswered punches on the button landed by Jairo Ramirez.
And Benny, that's why I gave the fourth round to Ramirez. It was a very close round, but I did give it to Ramirez. All right, we're coming up to the fifth round. This is a really good fight to watch. As we go to the fifth round, I congratulate Director of Boxing, Big Jeff Gramoji. You put together a dandy of a main event tonight, and all our matchmakers, Brad Goodman, Tony Burrell, Zach Promillo, Nacho Weezer, Tony Lozano, and Jimmy Montoya, who handle our Mexican fighters. Just a great job, guys. Every week we see quality fights like this. While we're thanking people, Benny, I want to thank Jim Hunter and Socrates Simondores for the help that they give us in preparing for the fights as well. With all that said, in the red trunks is Jairo Ramirez battling Rustam Nugaev. I have Nugaev 1 point out in front of Ramirez, giving Ramirez round 1 and 4, Nugaev 2 and 3 by 2 points with the knockdown.
Boy, Nugaev, he's in some kind of shape, because you figure as many punches as he threw, hard punches in the third round, and the way he was trying to knock out Jairo Ramirez, look at that, he's still got plenty left.
Well, there's one thing about the Russian fighters, they're always conditioned. And look at his body. I mean, there's no real body fat on either one of these guys. They're both in great shape, and that's why Big Jeff Gramoja has them fighting in the main event here. Terrific main event so far. Seesaw battle in a lot of ways. A lot of courage by Jairo Ramirez, because he was down and down hard in the third round. At one stage, when the count was up to about 4, I wondered if he could get up, and he got up, and he was still staggering, and he survived the third round. You know, that's the heart of a champion. That's something that Mike Tyson never did in his career. As tough as he was, he never got off the canvas, and that's why I always talk about Larry Holmes as one of the great heavyweights of all times, because I saw him do it so many times in his career, come off the canvas when I thought he was dead.
Oh, remember when Shavers?
Ernie Shavers, Mike Weaver.
Even Kenny Norton, when he fought Kenny Norton with one hand.
It was just a brilliant, but he had the great heart of a great champion that he was. And Ramirez is showing me some of that tonight. This is an even fifth round with about a minute to go. Who wants it the most?
But you know, also he showed me tremendous wits at that particular time. Was very, very intelligent, Jairo Ramirez was, in the way he was able to clear his head, just keep punching, so to stay out of harm's way, and then was able to get his legs back.
Well, that's a sign of a terrific fighter, because sooner or later, if you're in this sport, you're going to get caught, you're going to get knocked down, you're going to get shaken, and the great ones are able to recover from that and go on to win. The good ones are able to recover and stay in the fight, but they don't win it. So let's see if Ramirez is going to be great tonight. Right now, I think Nugaev is winning this 5th round, though. 32 seconds to go in the 5th.
Yeah, this is a textbook fight right here.
Oh, it's terrific, Vinny. You know I love boxing. I know you do too, but for our folks that are watching, this is wonderful stuff. You know, you think that with all the fights we call, we might get jaded, but no, I love this stuff. This is great. Closing seconds of the 5th round. Look at these guys battle with the bell. Look at this. As the
Stay busy. Here's some of the action right there from round number 5. And there you see Nugaev staying busy, throwing those punches, countering every move that Ramirez makes. Ramirez trying to back up, but again, and those were landing, but yet look at the answer. Nugaev had an answer for that.
Очень хорошо, Рустам. Очень хорошо. Давай, вытяни зубами.
6th round coming up. Here we go, round 6 from the Orleans Hotel. It's Guilty Fight Night at the Orleans Hotel and Casino here in Las Vegas, Nevada. I'm the Colonel Bob Sheridan. With me is Benny Ricardo. Our principals, Jairo Ramirez. And this is the 6th round of a scheduled 10-round lightweight main event of the evening. And a very tough fight against Rustam Nugaev, who I have out in front of my scorecard, 48-46 as we begin this top 6th round. We're at the halfway point and a little past it now. So who wants it the most? Nugaev waiting a little bit more than he was in that last round. And now you see Ramirez, they must have told him in his corner, Olivero Ramirez and Juan Flores and Bob Club, hey, you know, you got to be a little bit more aggressive because you just got nosed out in that last round. You're out hustling.
Yeah, and actually Nacho Huizo is also in that corner. Nacho is telling Jairo, you got to go in there. You got to get her everything you got. You just got to let it go.
Remember, these kids, Jairo Ramirez in the red is only 23, and Rustam Nugaev, who's new to this country, this is only his 2nd fight in the United States. All the rest of his fights have been in Russia. He's going to be well known in a hurry because I think you'll see him again on Guilty Boxing. This kid can fight.
But I tell you what Ramirez has to do here right now, if he wants to beat this Russian, is go inside, go to the body, and then double up to the head. But start at the bottom and then come over the top.
Nugaev right in front of him. Now he circles around to his left. Then he stops. He's up on his toes. He's got some slick, you know, I want to say he looks awkward because it's kind of the way he tucks his chin, but he's not really awkward. He has a lot of fluidity of motion. Every once in a while, I see an awkward right hand that he throws. But other than that, this guy's a terrific looking fighter. Look at this. Look at the quickness of the hands. Now that time, Ramirez showed quickness of hands, but Nugaev landed his shots.
Right, and he's got great ability to counter everything Ramirez does. This is a very intense chess match, except guys are wearing gloves.
You see, that time, it was Nugaev that got off first, landed the right hand, and right before that, I don't know if you folks watching notice it, but he's slipping punches. See him just outside the kill zone, then he gets reset. He circles around to his right, throws his right hand, touches him up with a jab. Ramirez having a lot of difficulty figuring this guy out right now because he does so many things so well. He got through with a light left hand that time. But Nugaev says, well, you did that, I'm coming right back at you. Sets up in front of him, up on his toes. Now they wait. And that's when Ramirez gets beaten to the punches when he waits too much. He loads up that time, but nothing landed. Look at Nugaev. He's landing shots, Benny. You know, Ramirez looks like he's doing some nice things if you're sitting back in the arena here. But it's Nugaev who's beating him on the inside, which, you know, is sensational. A guy Ramirez having a little bit of difficulty with the reach advantage that Nugaev has. And don't forget, Nugaev also has 4 inches in reach, and he's using both, 4 inches in height. He's using both the height and reach advantage right now.
And he's so smart, too, because he's countering everything Ramirez is doing.
Yeah, this is another terrific round. Ramirez trying to finish it. We're in the closing seconds now of the 6th round.
And here's Ramirez when he's doing the right thing. Going to the body, and then up on top. That's what you have to do against a very upright fighter like Rustam Nugaev.
You know, Benny, there's 4 rounds to go, and I've got Nugaev leading by 3 points right now, 58-55. So Ramirez has got to start winning some rounds. And he looks a bit on the fatigue side. And this guy is like a machine.
Yeah, absolutely. Rock'em sock'em boxing.
Did he train with Victor Drago there in the Rocky?
He must have. Because look, he's not even breathing.
No, he's not. He's well conditioned. Coming up to the 7th round. All right, this is the 7th round at the Orleans in Las Vegas, Nevada. It's guilty fight night. There's my scorecard. I've got it, as you see, 58-55 in favor of Nugaev. And again, the judges are Patricia Jarman, Dave Moretti, and Jerry Roth. Their scorecards are the only ones that count, but I think this is pretty close to it tonight. This kid Nugaev is a very, very slick fighter. Look at him. See, while Ramirez looks so good in the things he does, but he's not landing the shots.
No.
Look at the uppercut on the inside by Nugaev that time.
Now I'd like to see Nugaev, though, sit down on some of those punches now.
Boy, we saw the big left hook when Ramirez got nailed. It was, when I say a big left hook, it was actually about a 6-inch punch, the way you described it in the replay, Benny. We were looking for the right hand, and the left hook is what caught Ramirez and dropped him like a sack of wheat in the 3rd round. Since then, Nugaev hasn't been able to land that left hand quite the way he did in that round, but a lot of that has to do with the really good boxing that Ramirez has been putting on. But Ramirez not winning rounds. I've given him the 4th round, and I gave him the 1st round, and that's it on my scorecard.
Well, he keeps going back. Look at it. He keeps going backwards is Ramirez, and that's something you can't do against Rustam Nugaev, because then you give him that direct path right at him.
You know, he needs to dip a little bit more, blast to the body, because what he's doing right now isn't working. And Nugaev comes in, he cuts the distance down, he's throwing all the time. When he comes in, you see Ramirez up on his toes. He looks so good posturing and feigning, but it's Nugaev who lands the leather. Now that time, Ramirez did counter with the right hand.
But he's got to keep on going. You got to stay busy in the part of Ramirez.
Well, this is exactly what he has to do. So he lands 3 punches in that combination. Let's see what Nugaev does. He comes back, lands 1, 2, 3. So he's counted everything that Ramirez did in his nice little flurry already. And that was over a 15-second span, so it's dead even in that point. But Nugaev certainly won the, in my opinion, by landing more shots. And again, Ramirez looks good. And if you're sitting back, or even if you're watching and you turn your sound on and don't listen to once, you can see that Ramirez is looking good. But Nugaev is landing shots.
And you see now Nugaev really breathing hard, opening that mouth up to breathe. So we'll see fatigue finally sets in with him. Well, they might. What an intelligent fighter, Colonel.
Sorry, Benny, I didn't mean to step on you there, but you know, they might be lightweights, but it's been a pretty incredible pace for this fight. It hasn't slowed down at all. This is a terrific main event. And after the blasting knockdown that Ramirez gets shooken with in the 3rd round, I mean, he has really shown some courage to come back here, but he's not winning rounds. Closing seconds of this, the 7th round now. Closing seconds inside of about 15 seconds to go.
You know, tremendous defense by Nugaev, because he protects his body pretty well, too.
Yeah, he does, but I mean, look at this. They both pick up the pace. His Ramirez giving a big blast at the end, but he doesn't land any more punches than
Johnson at the Coors Amphitheater in Chula Vista, California.
Here we go with round 8. I got a pretty good welterweight world title fight tomorrow night in St. Louis. I'm doing, Benny. I got that
and it's sold out
between Spinks and Judy. Yeah, they get like 22,000 seats sold. A big promotion up there, and it should be a great fight. I'm looking forward to broadcasting that, but I have to stay up all night. You're on your way to the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
so you got a tough weekend too.
I got to make people laugh Saturday night, and then Sunday I got the game.
Yep, Benny does it in Spanish for the networks around the world, and I'm sure he'll enjoy that. Right now, we've got a really good main event going on here. Jairo Ramirez against Rustam Nugaev. Nugaev, this Russian, has come in here, and I won't say he's given a boxing lesson to Ramirez, but he's out in front of my scorecard by 4 points with just these last 3 rounds to go. So Ramirez almost needs to knock this guy down.
And it's amazing, for as many punches they've thrown and landed, their faces are relatively unmarked.
It is amazing. A little bit of puffiness by the eyes of Jairo Ramirez, by both eyes. The other guy, the shape of his face, it's hard to tell whether he's bruised or not, but I think he is bruised around the cheeks. He's got sort of that, if he was from the United States, he'd say he's got that Indian-shaped face with the high cheekbones. But I suppose he lives in the Ural Mountains there in the European part of the old Soviet Union in Russia, and they have those high cheekbones up there, a little bit of that Tata blood in them, I guess.
And you know, he's got so much adrenaline going through his body right now. He doesn't feel anything. He's just trying to walk right through the punches of Ramirez.
Boy, they both guys well conditioned. Notice how Nugaev seems to be landing the more powerful shots and the more consistent shots. That looked good, but Ramirez didn't land it. He did land the right hand, and right back to Nugaev. Every time Ramirez lands a shot, Nugaev counters with 1 or 2 more. I mean, those are partially blocked. Again, Ramirez looked good, but he's catching him on the glove. That one sailed over his shoulder, and Nugaev makes him pay. This is tough stuff for Jairo. I feel bad for him because things aren't working out his way, but I'm really impressed with Rustam. He looks terrific.
Absolutely, and the thing that Jairo does is he waits, whereas Nugaev is constantly throwing punches from all different angles.
He'd be a confusing guy. I'd hate to fight a guy like him because when you say all different angles, he comes in, again, the overhand right, the short, crisp right hand, then he'll come back with a left hook to drop the Jairo back in the 3rd round. He's got the uppercut, he's got the straight right hand. He uses his left like a sledgehammer sometimes, and he'll come with the uppercut with that every once in a while. So he's shown us a full arsenal. He's very well conditioned and very well trained and a very good lightweight fighter.
And look at those eyes, totally focused on Jairo Ramirez. Never taking his eye off it, coming in, constantly looking for that opportunity to go ahead and counter.
You know, when you talk about the lightweights, one of the great ones, Diego Corrales is here. Joel Casamayor, Julio Diaz, Juan Diaz, Arcelino Freitas. This guy's almost ready to fight guys in that caliber. Not quite. He needs a few more fights. He needs about 10 more fights. But you're going to see him fight for a world title. I think Nugaev for sure, as the bell ends the 8th round.
Man, I felt like I got wet with the sweat coming off of that one.
Cameraman Pete Hironaka getting those nice tight shots for us. Those are great shots, guys. I love this stuff. All right, here we go. Round 9. Bob Sheridan here with Benny Ricardo. Hope you're enjoying watching this as much as we're enjoying describing it for you. Another pretty good left hand by Nugaev in green. Continues to pummel Jairo Ramirez, who looks extremely fluid and looks good, but he's getting hit by Nugaev. And I've given Nugaev rounds 5 through 8 every single round. And it's getting to the point where the only way Ramirez can win on my score sheet anyway is if he knocks out Rustam Nugaev, and he doesn't appear to have the power to knock this guy out. He's got 7 knockouts and 16 victories, and Nugaev has a granite chin.
Yeah, he's been remarkable the way he's been able to take a punch, but the best defense for Nugaev has been his constant punches. Never has let Ramirez get in rhythm.
See, all of those punches, and when Benny's talking about rhythm, he threw 4 or 5 punches there, and only that last straight left hand really landed. That time he caught him with a pretty good left hand, but watch Nugaev now come back after him. Nugaev is a little frustrated because he can't catch him right now. Now there he does. You see that? So everything that Jairo did is negated immediately, because as soon as he gets hit, Nugaev comes back and nails him with 3 or 4 good punches. Now he get hit with a straight right hand, but here's Nugaev right back and nails him with 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, that last one didn't land, but look at these inside shots.
Yeah, and Jairo's not throwing any punches.
Well, Jairo's trying, Benny, but he can't get off with this guy the way he's blasting him. He's going to try to protect himself too, the way Nugaev throws so many. And as soon as he gets hit, Nugaev, it's like an electric charge goes off. He starts throwing punches. And right after him.
And to fight like that, Colonel, you got to be in some kind of physical shape. And Nugaev is definitely in great physical shape.
But he also does a lot of slick things that are hard to point out. You see him in this nice tight shot, the way he rolls his shoulders, the way he has his chin tucked. So when he gets hit, he doesn't get hit flush, so it doesn't take as much out of him. And look at when he gets hit, he comes back, throws an awkward chopping right hand, but he goes right back to his left jab. And look at that big wide left hook that time, crashes to the right side of the skull of Jairo Ramirez. With a minute to go, this has been a good round for Ramirez. It's probably been his best round since the 4th round, but I don't know if I can give him the round yet.
No, you can't. And watch, Jairo better look out, because he's dropping that right hand. He's dropping the right hand, and Nugaev has been loading up that left.
Jairo caught him with a pretty good right hand that time. Caught him with another right hand. He's got Nugaev backed up, and he may have hurt him. I don't know. He's a little staggered on his legs. There's plenty of time left in this round, and Ramirez really needs to drop him to get back in this fight. He's trying to hunt him down, but he can't catch him. But here's Nugaev showing he's a good boxer, staying away. He knows he's hurt a little bit, and he's going to stay away and try to pull out this round.
Oh, yeah, he's clearing the bugs out of his head.
He's staying away and doing a nice job. Jairo Ramirez is going to win this 9th round because he did have him staggered and had him hurt. All right, the bell ends the 9th round. At the guy, or you can take off.
And jumps in the ring.
Jairo here was waiting to go ahead and load up on a shot, get that one big shot.
Touch up center ring.
And that was a shot that caught Nugaev, and then after that, Nugaev just started moving around, getting out of harm's way.
Seconds out.
Well, I gave that round to Ramirez, and I have it scored 87-83, so it would still take a couple of knockdowns or a knockout for Ramirez to win. All right, here we go. This is it. The 10th and final round. It has been a terrific fight. Let's see if Jairo can pull off the upset. He's going to have to knock him out, or at least knock it down a couple of times if he's going to be back in this fight, at least on our scorecards. Remember, there have been some close rounds earlier in the fight. The third round definitely in Nugaev's favor when he dropped Ramirez, but whether the judges gave the second round to Nugaev or not, Benny and I both agreed that he won the second round. We gave Ramirez the first round, but it was a close first round. This is the 10th and final round of our main event. Oh, he caught him again, Benny.
And he's got to finish it now. Go in there, Jairo.
Now he's going to attack him, and he's waiting. Jairo's going to realize this is his last opportunity. It's the last round. I don't think he realized he hurt him.
Yeah, Nugaev's so smart, so slick in the way he's able to stay away from Ramirez.
Uses that reach and chopping right hand again. He's still not 100% yet. You see how wide his legs are, too. And that's to keep his balance. See that very wide legs of Nugaev because he doesn't have total control. He's got it back right about now, though.
But he's throwing punches. He's throwing punches, and he's keeping Ramirez at bay with those punches.
Now here's Ramirez on the assault. And if you can see on the far side of your screen, Nacho Weeds is saying, come on, Jairo. You had him hurt. You couldn't attack him enough. You should have grabbed him. Almost at the halfway point of the 10th and final round. It's been a good minute and a half for Jairo Ramirez, but this Russian kid is some kind of tough. And he's a very good boxer, very slick, and throws a ton of punches. He's in great shape. And it's been very difficult for Jairo.
And we always talk about those fighters that don't use those God-given talents. I'll tell you what, Rustam Nugaev is one of those guys uses every bit of it. Uses that reach advantage, uses that height advantage, and also that intelligence that he was given on how to fight a very smart fight and do what it takes to win.
You mark my words, folks, you're going to see this guy fight for a world title, and I hope Jairo can get his act together and come back. And I wouldn't mind seeing these two guys fight again someplace down the line. This has been a tough fight. Ramirez still can win this 10th round, but it's not going to be enough. If Nugaev gets a second win, he can still win this round, too. He was tagged pretty good, and he's huffing and puffing, but it's been an incredible pace. Knocked back at his heels by a stiff left jab again. But Ramirez doesn't seem to have that sense of urgency that he needs to finish this off. The crowd really enjoying this, starting to hoot and whistle and holler a bit, because this has been a terrific main event of the evening.
Well, it's almost like an engine that's stuck. He can't get in there, can't get in there, can't get in there. And the reason is Nugaev just keeps throwing punches.
Well, he's relentless in the punches that he throws. And now we're into the closing seconds of the fight. And look at this, as they battle to the bell, they continue to battle. Ramirez caught him with a pretty good shot there. There's the bell. Well, again, the judges, Patricia Morse-Jarman, Dave Moretti, and Jerry Roth have turned in their scorecards.
So, ladies and gentlemen, after 10 rounds of hard-hitting action, we go to the scorecards, and they deserve it. Let's give it up for these two young warriors in the ring. And ladies and gentlemen, we have a unanimous decision. Judges at ringside, Dave Moretti and Jerry Roth scored about the same. 96-93, Roth y Moretti anotaron el mismo 96-93. And Judge Patricia Morse-Jarman scores it 95-94. Jarman anotó 95-94 for your winner. By unanimous decision, el ganador por decisión unánime, the pride of Oaxaca, Mexico, Jairo Ramirez.
Well, I am in shock. I'm in absolute shock. I'm in absolute shock. I thought when I heard the judges have it 96-93, they had it exactly the same way we had it, Benny. How about a comment from you on that? I'm in absolute shock with that decision by the judges.
Yeah, unbelievable.
Box Jairo tonight. I'm thrilled for Jairo Ramirez that he got the decision because he's a wonderful kid. But it's got to be disappointing for this kid. You take a look at round number one. Right away, obviously, the judges gave this round to Ramirez, and Ramirez did look good in the first round. He rocked Nugaev. But in the second round, I thought Nugaev started coming back. And as you can see, the judges must have given this round as well to Jairo Ramirez. They didn't pick it up as we did, that we thought that Nugaev outboxed him, out-hustled him, and outworked him in the second round. In the third round, that's definitely a Nugaev round where he almost knocked out Ramirez. That has to be scored 10-8. And then you see, as the fight continues, that Nugaev is just all over Ramirez and almost ended it right there. Look at these blasting shots. And, I mean, just a terrific job by Nugaev. And then you come to the fourth round. And, you know, I thought at this stage that Ramirez was looking very strong, and I gave the fourth round. But now you go to the seventh, and I see, well, those shots indicate that Ramirez is doing something good. It was Nugaev who was just landing so many more punches than this guy. I mean, they're really, this guy out-hustled him so many times during the course of the fight. And in the ninth round, again, you see Ramirez throwing shots, but Nugaev landing shots. I mean, this guy, to me, was just outworking him. And then in the last couple of rounds, I thought that Jairo Ramirez did win a couple of the last rounds. And obviously, the judges gave the 9th, 10th, 8th, 9th, and 10th round to